Oi oi my drillers, it's your Big Donny Cow here for a brand new video where today we're going to be talking about Dark Pact in 3.26 Trafa Mercenaries, whatever the hell it's called. Something Secrets of an Atlas, I don't know. They gave me a few too many names for my small brain to be able to handle it. But who cares, because today we're talking about an absolutely awesome Chaos Minion build, Dark Pact. So, let me show you, but first I've got to give a bit of a disclaimer. When I was doing this build, I was kind of following a lot of the groundwork that was done by Ghazzy in previous leagues. So, yeah. He's the man with the real brains behind this build, and it's a pretty good build. So how does it work? Basically, I summon skeletons, I right-click my Dark Pact, they explode in an aura of absolute chaos, and I win. I clear maps. It's just like that. You'll see some cool clips, probably now if I actually edited this video. Let's get right into the PoE first. Right. So, I think let's first start with some skills. What do we want to do for skills? So, to begin with, we actually want the Dark Pact itself. I won't go through leveling because Ghazzy's archive setup does just fine for leveling. If you get yourself a tabula rasa as well this late on, then you're going to be smooth sailing. Don't have any currency to spend. Just try and get yourself links early and build up your energy shields. That's what I found helped me quite a bit. And of course your early reses and whatnot. So, our links for Dark Pact, we're going with Chain, Void Manipulation, Arcane Surge, Intensify, and Spell Echo. You can have this at level 20 and it still does a lot of damage, but yeah, as we start min-maxing it, we want a 21-20 Dark Pact. We want, I think it's Awakened Chain, Awakened Void Manipulation, Awakened Spell Echo, 20 quality. I think max level for Awakened Gems is 4, so yeah. Then, yeah, I believe Arcane Surge and Intensify, we actually just want to get Vald to a higher level. So that will give you a nice, juicy top-end increase. But yeah, to start off with, you can go with these all at 20-20 or 20-0, whatever. So long as you have the levels and you're ready to blast, you can start nuking through maps. Then, skeletons. We need skeletons. There's a special interaction we've got with our skeletons, which I'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, a level 20 Val Summon Skeletons is a good start. Get them buying a 21, amazing. Minion life, getting it on 23 quality is more important than getting it on 21 level. If you can get a 21-23, which I'm not sure is possible, I don't know. Then, you know, that is of course uber bis. But if it's the choice between gem level and gem quality, you want the gem quality in this setup. And I'll explain why as I get to talking about the items. Then you want to support it with Feeding Frenzy and with Ring Touch. For auras, we are Arrogance, Linking, Vitality, and Clarity. This means it reserves life instead of mana. It doesn't reserve too much life. So, yeah, you're smooth sailing. 3 auras, which really help with the build. Ray Spectre for a minion life on that. Quality doesn't matter. Just get it leveled. GG. Sorted. Your Spectres won't die. To begin with, in the early days, the Spectres you're going to want to run going to be 2 Carnage Chieftains and a Host Chieftain. Then swap that out when you can sustain your power charges with a Carnage Chieftain, an Arena Master, and a Pale Seraphim. Next, I have Assassin's Mark. This should be attached to my Arcanist brand, but yeah, I guess I didn't set that up, so my bad. Then these guys aren't linked, or don't have to be linked. They don't need to be linked. So yeah, these are just odd spells, but yeah, Animate Guardian, Petrified Blood, Flame Dash, and Discipline. Good auras, good mobility. This guy's your walking, talking aura bot. Beautiful. And he just doesn't die unless he's going to take an Uber Maven Fireball to the face. Then, yeah. Yeah, we can see that one coming. But at least nowadays you could just resummon them instantly, which is amazing. Last but not least, we want Convocation, Desecrate, and Bone Offering in our wands for the trigger socketed spells. Something costs, something cooldown. You know how it goes. You cast another spell, this stuff gets automated. GG, big wins. This is game. This is big gamer stuff. So yeah, easy extra defenses. So you might notice here, let's actually go into the DPS. So what's our DPS? 2.279 million. Oh, I'm leaving. That's so bad. No, you multiply it by 5. So in reality, this is about 11 million DPS. It's just, I'm not a PoB guru, so I don't have it written out that it says, oh yeah, 5. So yeah, multiply it by 5, you get your real DPS. This is, my current setup is a nice 11 million DPS, and there's more to get out of it. So let's talk about getting more out of it. What's our tree gonna look like? Well, I guarantee most of you are probably just gonna copy this off the PoB. I will put in the description. But yeah, I guess you could look at this in your own time without me making this video turbo long, as I imagine you guys just want to get to the meat of everything. But for jewels, I definitely recommend getting a Blessed Rebirth. Get some nice extra stats on there. I personally wanted more Ellie reses with my jewels, as it's something I struggle to get. Enduring Composer, small jewel, very good. Make sure though, minion life. Minion life means more damage. Now here's a little trick for trying to calculate your damage. In the in the config, where is it? We want minion life. Ah, here it is. So if we go look at the skill options, you see skeleton life. Normally you have to manually put this in. So do make sure you do that when you're calculating. And if you want to look for it, then just hover over your summon skeleton skill. And you'll see the 4th line from the bottom. Above withered, above summons, above maximum 10 summon skeletons. Minions have 28,001 maximum life. So, yeah. Keep that in consideration when calculating your DPS. Now, let's go and look at our gear. Oh, one thing I will mention before I move on to gear. Of course, sorry, I forgot about the lesser jewels and then some tattoos I've decided to use. But lesser jewels, getting some attributes, increased damage, and maximum life on the minions is ace. I'd highly recommend prioritizing the minion maximum life, then going for the extra spell damages, and also supporting with various attributes and resistances as you see fit to help your build. That actually maybe focus on getting the attributes and resistances, then you can get all the nice damaging stuff. Right, so what else? Tattoos. So, excuse me, I'm a Brit. I need my tea, otherwise things will not be going too well, lads. Tattoo of a the Toeman Warrior. We're calling him the Toeman. 5% increased chaos damage. Of course it's a DPS increase. You lose a bit of mana, so you'll be hitting your mana flask a little bit more often because of this. However, it does give a nice amount of damage. You know, if I put this back to... Oh, no. Let's, don't save that and go back. That was the worst thing I could click right now. If I just put this back to intelligence, look, that's gone from 7.9 to 6.4. You get quite a nice amount of damage, and just think, you can calculate in here the nodes by just right-clicking and then dropping it down to the tattoo you want. I believe you can also do the same on masteries. No, okay. No, right. Ignore me. I'm being wrong. But yeah, I haven't seen any rune graphs which really look worth using, to be honest. So I've ignored rune graphs, but yeah. This is currently a big setup. You might also notice if you decide to go and look at the guide provided by Ghazzy that he uses skill cost life instead of mana cost. I opted not to go for this as I'm not really sure what the benefit is this is going to be. Aside from being able to spam for longer, but you don't really go through your mana flasks on boss fights, so yeah. Albeit, you know, as of recording, I'm yet to do Maven. But after recording, if I've killed Maven, then you're going to see a bit of a Maven kill clip in this video. So, gear. Now let's get on with gear. And also, let's move my ugly mug out the way, wherever my webcam is being held. Yeah, there it is. Boom. Now you don't have to see me, and we can focus on the PoB. So, notable unique. So, as earlier, I was telling you about the Val skeleton setup. Why? Look at these gloves. Val Caress. Increased level of socketed Val gems, decreased level of socketed non-Val gems. Which is why we want the quality on the minion life over the level of the minion life. Because we're going to lose level on the minion life anyway, but the quality is going to be unaffected. So you're going to get full quality bonus on your minion life support. So, big. And then increasing level of Val skeletons, more minion life. Which means more Dark Pact damage, because Dark Pact damage scales off of your minion life. And a few other things. But it's one of the big scaling components. So yeah, it's good. Now, as for wand, trigger socketed spells, trigger socketed spell when you use a skill of 8-second cooldown. Amazing. Abyss enchant. Minion skill gem levels, minion damage, and spell damage is ace. But you're thinking, but Dark Pact is my damage, right? Yeah, but also, spiritual aid, lol. Increasing reductions to minion damage also affect you. Yeah. So minion damage is still bis. Now, albeit you see like cold damage on this, that's useless. That's useless. I should maybe invest in a better one. However, for now I am rolling with this because yeah. Big damn. Right, Spirit Shield. I've gone Titanium Spirit Shield because a big energy shield, and I personally need defensives at this stage. But chance to block, spell crit chance, life, a bit of res, and more energy shield. Amazing. You know, I definitely want to get a 6th stat on this. Maybe I should have just exalted this by now, but whatever, I haven't. This is what we're rolling with, and it's doing quite nicely for me. You can also go for, is it a Fossilized Spirit Shield or something that has minion damage on it? But, yeah, just do keep in mind that you might be trading off a little bit of energy shield. But it would be more damage. As for a helmet, you know, just basic survivability stuff and increased level 2 minion skill gems. I've also got an added Exarch Eater implicits, which increase my spell damage and cast speed. Just a big damage increase. Body armor. So it's a double influenced item here. I have chance to gain power charge on crit and plus 0.5% to spell critical chance. Those are the 2 big nodes from this. As you can see, you know, I invested in this. The other stats did not roll amazingly, but we did still get the 2 major stats. You're going to want to craft this, most likely. I'd recommend getting it on a Twilight Regalia, not a Val Regalia. I messed up, okay? What you want to do is get an influenced Twilight Regalia and then an influenced whatever other body armor you want. One's going to be Hunter, one's going to be Crusader. You're going to keep spamming alt out. Yeah. So you're going to transmute it. Well, you're going to scour it. Then you're going to transmute it. And then from here, this is where the spam starts. You're going to alteration. Keep spamming alteration until there's only 1 stat. Then you go to augmentation to get 2 stats. If you roll, so your end goal is to get power charge on crit or spell critical strike chance, depending on the influence of the item. You want to get that on its own. So, you know, if you roll one of these on its own, great, you're done. That piece is ready. If you alt, you don't get it, you aug, and then you get it, then you want to annul and pray that you get it. And if you alt and you get it and something else, then you also want to annul and hope that it works. After that, you want to use your Awakener's Orb. You want to use it on your non-Twilight Regalia. So this is the second random body armor with the influence. You want to use it on that first. And then the second item you use it on is your Twilight Regalia. This will transfer the stat, the influence stat, onto your Twilight Regalia. And then give you a load of other stats. I'd recommend bench crafting life. And, yeah, if you can get better stats than this, then great. Next, boots, just general, extra survivability stuff. Probably roll better influence, stuff on there as well. Especially since I'm overcapped on fire res and I click my life flask for avoiding bleeding. Amulet, you want big attributes on here. I've opted into any res, but I could probably swap that out a bit. I could maybe get some spell damage and whatnot. But you want to allocate retribution. Why? Because it is damage. Minion damage. Increased attack and cast speed for you. 50% increased damage for you. And more attributes. So, it's big. I promise. Bone Ring, giving the minions extra elemental resistances helps them live a bit. And some extra stuff for you. But most importantly, the increased maximum life means you are doing more damage. And then get yourself an Amethyst Ring. Okay, if you're lacking on the yellow roses, then get that first. The Amethyst Ring towards the end, survivability attributes, gotta love it. Now, this is our favourite of our minion builds. I could hold Darkness Enthroned. If you have the balls to go and farm a base, then I fully recommend you do so. And selling these nets me good currency. And I've seen a good few 100% Darkness Enthroned, and I'm not exactly a turbo sweat. Probably quite a bit of a casual compared to most people. But this Darkness Enthroned, beautiful. Why? Because of the jewels we put in. Okay. Because of the jewels we put in there. extra attributes, extra life, minion life. Minion life. And as that percentage goes up, we get more minion life, and then we go into our config and we ramp that up, and then we see the DPS goes up, and it is just a beautiful. You gotta love it. As for flasks, what am I running? So special flasks, Rome's concoction charges reach full, Quicksilver flask charges reach full, spell damage leeches energy shields, one of our survivability things, as you'll see on the tree when you go and delve in. But I think like it's over here. Yeah, over here we're leeching spell damage as energy shield. So yeah, that's quite nice. Same with a diamond flask as well. And this we've got used when you hit a rare enemy or unique enemy if it's not already active. And then I've got a life flask. This is getting rid of bleeding and corrupted blood. And then a mana flask, which is getting rid of poison. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Why am I going to use a mana flask to get rid of poison? You're not. You're just going to use that much mana that you might as well just consider this a blanket immunity to poison. Yeah. Yeah. You'll be hitting that mana flask a bit. Trust me. Right. Anyway, I think that pretty much covers everything that I could show you in the PoE. So the last thing I want to talk about is our Mercenary. Hell yeah. So, what have I gone for? I've gone for a kineticist. Yeah. Why? Because it's great for spamming my curses everywhere. That I just realized I haven't touched on the Animate Guardian. I will go back to it in a second. But the kineticist is great for putting curses on. And it means that you don't need to spend all the time painstakingly you could apply another curse on your chest piece. You could just give it to your Mercenary. You can make the curse limit free. Why do we want free? Because the kineticist is always going to put on elemental weakness. You can't help that. But you want despair. So curse enemies with despair on here. We give it to the Mercenary instead of our Animate Guardian. Also, we get haste from this Mercenary, which is more damage, which, considering I haven't got my PoB set up, and it's not really counting some of the bonuses I'm getting from the Mercenary, and I don't actually think it's counting my Spectre bonuses either. Yeah, there's more DPS than what meets the eyes. Someone smart might be able to go through and figure it out, but I'm not smart. For survivability, Account's Binding is just beautiful. There's the additional curse ring. This is just lucky hits. Sorry, those two are an additional curse. That puts curse limit of 3. So the kineticist will cast elemental weakness. Nothing we can do about that. We'll spam the entire field with kinetic bolts, which means it's despaired. You see where I'm coming from? But then, oh, there's an empty curse. Yes. Your Arcanist brand you put down for bosses with Assassin's Mark attached. Whoa! You see where I'm coming from? Your Arcanist brand goes down. The Assassin's Mark temporarily overrides all the Kineticist curse. But because the Kineticist is so fast, it will apply its 2 curses. Because a curse limit of 3, it adds its 2 curses onto your existing Assassin's Mark. Which means you have 3 curses out. Easy W. Now the final thing is, nearby enemies have -% to chaos resistance. I got a nice cheap -9, and that uber reduces your damage. It is crazy good. So yeah, that's sort of the setup I've gone for. Maybe I could get some extra stuff on these other slots, but I've just not really thought about them, to be honest. So yeah, that's the Merc setup. Now we're going to dive back into PoB quickly because I forgot to talk to you about the Animate Guardian. So, what have I got on him? Well, not that. I do have a Kingmaker. And in case you're in a similar situation to me, where you can't just import it, then here's how you do it. Search up your item, double click it, add to build, drop down, Kingmaker, boom. It's in the config. Kingmaker is huge. We don't run Dying Breath anymore. Kingmaker, we're at a higher budget. Yeah? Dying Breath is what we used in the earlier budget. Got a Leer Cast because I can't afford a Crown of the Tyrant. That's too expensive. But also it's big damage anyway. Griffcall's Pelt Basically, just making this guy a tanky beast. We love it. Embalmer, we had Dispel on hit, but now, we just have one that just doesn't have Dispel on hit. That, in fact, I got some new gloves for my Animate Guardian, but I can't import it in, and I didn't remember the stats before I did, so yeah, I just got stuck with a load of life and resistance and energy shield to just make him a bit tankier. And then, yeah, Windscream as well, which lets this guy apply an additional curse. But, yeah, with the Mercenary going about, yeah, it might actually be worth swapping this around for some tankier boots as well. But, yeah, one more thing to go over is sort of budget. If you're on a low budget, then you can definitely get away with running a Tabula Rasa for a long point, getting your Elires and stuff from other sources, then swapping into a random 6 link, using those stats to rejig the rest of your gear, and then sort of transition into sort of higher budget pieces. And yeah, I'm sure there's probably some more stuff to increase the DPS. But yeah, that is the build for now. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you have any extra knowledge and wisdom to share in the comments, then please do so. And any questions, I'll try my best to answer them. And yeah, thank you for watching the video. See you guys on the live stream.